Instagram is not gonna act right. Y'all come on in. I'm about to fix me some tea. Y'all see me shrinking? I know it. Instagram is still not acting right. But y'all come on in. Come on in. As soon as this sauce blanket, I get my water. I'm about to fix me some tea. Good evening, y'all. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Marian E. King, owner of Empty Logistics. I'm sorry, Empteenest LLC. Um, Doing business as no longer Empteenest Logistics. I am consulting now. Hey, 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 what's happening, y'all? Good evening, good evening, good evening. I just wanted to hop in and talk to y'all for a little while, see if everybody all right, everybody okay. Instagram is still acting up, but that's okay, y'all, because I'm about to take my talents solely over to Facebook and YouTube. Well, not solely, but mostly, because I need y'all to be able to catch these videos and other things that I want to be doing and talking to y'all about. So yeah, we got to head on over there. It's Empty Nest Logistics and More on Facebook. Empty Nest Logistics and More on Facebook. Because we have stuff to do, things to set up, conversations to have. And once TikTok goes off, if you don't catch YouTube, you know, you're pretty much stuck. So good evening, y'all. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Fix me a little tea. Talk to y'all for a little while before I head on over to my other situation where I get people to try to buy stuff. This stuff. Okay. Yeah, this is my favorite one. Oh, it smells so good and tastes like candy. Multi-fruit dry blend. What y'all got going on this evening? Everybody all right? Everybody okay? Y'all, it's a lot more people out here ready to park their trucks. But I still don't want people to be discouraged. Don't feel no kind of way. Don't let nobody make you feel no kind of way. Dodging these cheap rates. I know. I saw a video today. Ooh, this is gonna be good. I saw a video today with this man. He was talking about people out here taking all of this cheap freight. Mm-hmm. But there's people that's gonna weather the storm. But those people who take that cheap freight, they really do hurt the market and all that kind of stuff every year. Right, slow cooler. Because I was looking at some things over the past few years, and I'm just like, there's always a time like this. Always. Sometimes it's not as dramatic. Well, dramatic isn't a good word, but it's not, excuse me, as bad, but it does happen. And a lot of times it picks back up, in the oh, there you go. I'm trying to accept now. It picks back up.
Good evening, Missy. How's it going?
It's good. It's good. How's it going with you?
I'm all right. Can you hear me well? Or am I yelling at you? My Bluetooth goes crazy sometimes.
Okay, there you go. You good. But like I was saying, it usually gets better in I call it the burr months. October, November, December.
Yes, ma'am. It does. You know what? I'm just something that I keep finding myself coming around to, and I'm not bashing anybody. You know, you're one of the dispatchers that I love to see on here because you actually know what's happening in the truck rather than just outside the truck. Let me tell you what's killing trucking for not for me, but for everybody right now. You remember when it ran and got all of those PPP loans? Obviously, they were loans and people had to pay those loans back. The first thing, naturally, you see all these videos on TikTok, you get to the bag with the truck. Now there's so many saturated carriers, sitting in one place, Atlanta area. I'm literally about to move out of Atlanta just because, I've spoken to a couple of my brokers that deal with me day to day, daily basis. They're like, listen, bro, I'll be honest with you, there's just too many truckers in Atlanta, so they won't pay you to leave Atlanta. And I'm like, they made Atlanta and the tri-state Atlanta area. I don't want to
right. I feel exactly what you're saying, and we need to know it. We need to hear it. Y'all, this is a driver. He out here. He outside.
Yes, mom. I'm a driver, owner. I own a couple rigs. I've been doing this for years. Just telling people, if y'all look at my videos, all I do is tell people how to do trucking a little bit better, or I should say the way I would do it, which I found my way. I haven't had any upside down weeks, let alone months. You know what I mean? So it works as long as you're not under the gun. What I mean under the gun is you know went out there, purchased some newer truck, high
Mm-hmm.
dollar, 3,000 for that, 2,000 for your insurance plus the trailer rental. When you guys put yourself underneath that knife, it makes it hard, harder and harder the more and more that you keep adding stuff on.
Right.
Let alone your house expenses and whatever else. You got your new cars or whatever the case is. And a lot of people, I remember seeing some videos where I see the older gentlemen trying to have a conversation with the newer guys on what to do, what not to do. Then it started to get real apparent where the younger guys is like, oh, I don't want older people telling me what to do. It's like, you got to think, they're still out here because they're doing it the right way. You know what I mean? And I see a lot of people. So it's not even at the point where stop taking cheap freight right now, because all the freight's cheap. You know what I mean? No matter they're willing to do that, to where it's like, it doesn't matter to us. You're gonna live, you're gonna survive. But like Miss E said, it don't rain forever.
That's the truth. And I used to tell
It
people
don't
that
rain
too
forever.
about the PPP loan, and I used to talk also about the unemployment, because you remember, like in 2020, well, 20 the unemployment and the PPP situation was running neck and neck. Remember when
Yes, they
PP
were.
unemployment was giving them people all that money weekly, but it was taking them forever to pay out. So by the time they would pay
Yep.
out, it would be $15,000, $20,000. And I kept coming on here
Yep.
telling people, hey, if you don't have a cushion, don't do it. That $20,000 is not enough. So you watch, you listen to people sell you all these dreams. As soon as your lump sum come in, you go buy a truck. You don't realize you got insurance, maintenance, that you're not going to get a return on that quickly. All you heard was it's a $900 billion industry, and they said that you can make money. You was
Yep.
First of all, you started off in a hole. You could never afford, even when they gave you that back pay, you were not in financial position to get into this industry. You weren't.
Unless your knowledge of the industry was that deep. And to be
Correct.
honest with you,
But and even if it was that deep,
ninety
you knew you
percent.
didn't have enough.
Well,
Yep.
see, it's different. So, like, somebody like the only reason why I say it's different, man, because I'll give you my situation itself.
Okay.
I bought my truck for 11,000. I think I put like 5,500 into it,
Okay.
and I haven't had one down week a month right now. You know
And
what I
you
mean?
know how to work
And
on your truck too, right? I think I remember you saying.
yes,
Okay.
exactly. So that's the knowledge that you need. You need to know, what your truck situation is. I
Mm-hmm.
tell everybody this DEF situation was not put out here for the regular owner operator to deal with. That was a big company truck situation. It doesn't matter because they can turn over so many trucks left and right.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter to them. And then you see a lot of these people that were buying some of the worst trucks out the internationals. People, I'll tell you right off the gate, stay away from them internationals. They literally, I used to do in frames in the international dealership. So this is hands on telling you, please stay away from them trucks. They are the worst things going. But when people like you said, they get that lump sum, 15,000. The truck is 15,000. I'll borrow a couple more thousand off of my family and friends to get my party going. The first 2-3 weeks, or maybe even months, if you do it wrong, you're not even booking any real substantial loads that can even get you back in the green.
Right.
And then you fall into this area where now the loads don't even pay. So you're forced to try to make back up and still take these crappy loads that they don't really want to give you anyway. And that's where the problems start to come into, where, you had a million dispatches. I know I made a video of like, you don't need a dispatcher. Obviously that has nothing to do with you.
Right. You know when you right.
You know the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The ones that just send you, they're sending you to Iceland with no rebook and don't
Right.
have anything to do with. That's why
And still want their percentage on Friday. Why you stuck?
Once I heard you speak, Miss E, I said she's a
Oh
dispatcher.
yeah,
Like obviously I do this myself, but once I heard you speak, how you're like, I even took a ride with them in the truck. I'm gonna tell you people all the time, you never know what we're really going through out here. We can say what we're going through, whatever the case is.
You don't feel it till you get in that truck. Oh.
Exactly, and that's what's killing. It killed the business. You got a bunch of people selling platforms, and I can make you 100,000 just sitting at home. Before you know it, there's a million brokers, there's a million dispatchers, there's a million truckers, and now it's only about 10,000 worth of free. It's just too much for the business to sustain. And right now, as I look, because I still do the same thing. Remember I tell you, I only go pretty much the East Coast.
Right.
Back down. You can average out, I'm telling people right now, to be honest with you, 5,000 to 7,000 a week and be back home. You know what I mean? If you're doing it the right way. Excuse me. And you can make it that way until the rates come back up to more. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I would employ all the new people that are trying to do this. Man, put a suit on and walk into these businesses, into these factories.
Put a suit on. Right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Walk into there, tell them, you're part of a logistics company. If you go to 10 or if you go to 20 and one gives you their business, that's one less truck you got to worry about. That's just going. It's nonstop.
Yep.
I tell people the Food Lion accounts, if you're in the South, ShopRite if you're in the North, that's dedicated nonstop. Yeah, you're not going to make $7,000, $8,000 a week. At the same time, you're not going to drive $3,000, $4,000.
That's right. And that's the offset. That's what makes it. That's how it works. That's right.
Yes. In May, Miss E, I'm going to tell you just like this. I know there's people that are like, oh, he's BSing and stuff. In May, a couple months ago, I made $64,000 in May. My one truck by myself. It's an account that I have. It's very physical. It's you have to be willing to do some crazy stuff, and I mean crazy, and then really make some money. But those of us who know, it's not like, oh my God, I made this money, we can go splurge it all out. No, like that is, you get 1 or 2 months of that. You're hoping that it happens 3 times in 1 year. So please, people, if y'all gonna get into trucking, man, just listen to somebody. Don't listen to everybody. But you'll be able to really tell a difference of people that really got skin in the game and really have put a lot of, heart and dedication in why they don't do stuff. You know what I mean? I see a lot of guys going down to Miami, and they'll take a load, whatever, from Jersey down to Miami, and it'll pay pretty decent, $3,000, $3,500 for 1,200 miles, whatever cases. And then I'll see him 2 days later. Where you at? I'm still in Miami.
Stop.
What are you doing? I won't leave here unless I get $2 a mile. And it's like, wait a minute, you don't know the rules of Miami?
You don't know.
If you go down there, you drive out of there empty if you have to. Like, just leave.
That's right. And then if you make it, even if you have the deadhead, if you get to Jacksonville, you're good.
Yep.
Because you about to hit that. They got something out of Jacksonville, or you right there by the Georgia line, you can go. And this is stuff that when you do this, you know it.
Exactly.
Just like when you go. If you stuck over like in like Utah and all that stuff over there, if you go over to Nebraska, you out of there.
Yes.
You Colorado, go over. That's right. That's right.
That's it. Bill them to get in. I always tell people all the time.
Make them pay you right on the front. Yep.
I'll drive out of there. And I've done it plenty of times. I have friends that I go see in Miami, and they all kind of laugh, like, what are you getting out of here? And I'm like, only thing I'm taking out of here is my empty trailer. I always tell them I'm hauling hollow jet fuel out of here.
Okay.
Wow, you don't even stop. No, I do not stop. If you have a reefer, you can probably get a decent load leaving out of there. But to be honest with you, just to tell you a quick story, and I'll let you guys go or whatever.
Oh, you all right? They listening? We've been needing this. Go ahead.
I had a buddy just recently that I taught this game to, whatever the case is. He moved on to signing more carriers and different people underneath his authority just recently. And he had a driver just the other day. Now, he caught a good load coming out of the city. It was like 3 pickups in New York City, 1 pickup in Jersey, and it went down to Miami, and they paid him $6,000.
Oh.
So, which is a really good
nice, right.
We kind of, my boy, I sent him to where he knows the broker, whatever.
Gotcha.
And the gentleman who did the run drive-in to Missy, I set him up. He set him up. Whatever. It was a drive-in. He went down there. So he tells my buddy he signed on to. I'm not. I don't want to leave unless I get a load. I just, at least want to get something out of here. So my buddy finds a 400-mile load going to Georgia that paid $600. It was a load of water coming out of Miami or somewhere down there. It could have been half, whatever.
Another full of
He
gas.
says, okay. Yeah, exactly. He said, okay. He goes and grabs that load. He just about gets out of Florida. Gets on the weigh station. He's overweight by about 600-700 pounds. That ticket right there cost him $375.
Yeah.
So I asked my buddy, I said, so now you answer me this. Was it worth getting that load, or should he had just bit the bullet because he made $6,000 going down there and just drove out of there to Savannah? And he said, bro, I tried to tell him that like 40 times, and finally I was just like, you know what? You know what I mean?
Since you just refused to move, it wasn't even worth it.
You're never going to get anything good besides they have like a fruit, a vegetable and a fruit season in Florida that kind of runs up. Ones I know about run up to Hunts Point Market. They pay pretty decent to do that. Would I make that my everyday route weekly?
No.
Absolutely. Florida is the most abandoned. There's nothing there but sand and beaches, to be honest with you.
That's it.
Look at it. That's it. So if anybody wants to get to it, know the routes, know the lanes, it may take you a little while to, I tell my buddy, I said, listen, another one I mentor, he says, why don't you go certain places, or what would you do? Would you go to Indiana? I said, listen, but before I sign a rate com with a broker to an area that I haven't been to, I will double back and go look at that area for the next 2 days at least minimum to see what kind of loads come out of that area.
Your research phase.
You have to know this about this business because, if you go somewhere and you wind up just getting a load just enough to kind of get you gas, it wasn't worth going there.
Yep.
It just wasn't. So please, people, just, do the little investigation and Miss, I always call you Miss E because of the name of your business.
Right.
People know that's not her name. I just say it's just easier for me to call Miss E.
Mm-hmm.
But someone with her knowledge that has actually taken rides with us, knows that you have kids in Arkansas, but you primarily live in Jersey. You know what I mean? Yes, you want to get home to certain days to Arkansas to see your kids, but then also you want to get to your own house. That's golden dispatches right there. That's golden. That's why I always love your dialogue and content, whatever you have.
Appreciate that.
I see it in you that you're not like, just sign up and I need 5%. And you see, I sent people your way also. Call her. She definitely knows what she's doing.
That's what's up.
What I mean? Missy, I can't. There's not enough hours in the day. So I got my buddy that owns 3 rigs. I own 3 rigs. And I help probably about 3 or 4 other people with single rigs.
Mm-hmm.
They call me for everything. I got a flat tire. My engine's making this noise. So it just gets
you be doing a lot. Right.
It's just too much, you know what I mean? And that's why I say any type of way I can slide that over by you here. This guy doesn't really want to be bothered with low boards, just you can take care of him with that. But most of these brokers and dispatchers out here, they are looking at moving your book. Once they book that load, it's not their responsibility anymore. It's yours.
And that is that's the worst thing you can do.
Yes.
Because when you operate like that, you are detached from what you're really doing.
Yes.
You just like that. When you do that, you are like, okay, that's my percentage. I don't care about nothing else. I booked it. You dropped it off. Give me my money. And
I see that a lot.
It's out there. There's people who don't negotiate. They don't do anything. They have the mindset that I'm going to get my percentage, and I don't care. Okay, I don't care if you make it home. I don't care what you got to do. They won't even negotiate their rate, including what you need, so you can get your whole amount. They won't. Nope. They say, "Oh, it's on the low board." That's it.
Look at this business. You have to live this business.
You do.
This has to be, and I've heard you say that. And again, Missy, I just listened to you a lot before I even sent you a friend request or whatever stuff it is, because right away, once I hear somebody start to speak whatever, and I know they're not somebody you can really get through to with it, I don't have time to waste. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna keep moving. But once you see certain traits that a person has, you know what I mean, and it really makes a difference to them. Because I'm gonna tell you guys something. If you're thinking about becoming a dispatcher, and I've heard it from other people who've been in this, truck owners, the worst call you can get is that driver passed away on the way taking that load for you.
And I talk to them about that because I need to know that y'all are prepared. This is not just get your percentage. These you
Yes.
actually become family with your carrier. Like
Yes.
when they call in, what's going on? What's happening? What you have to be prepared for. Hey, this is officer such and such. And you can't break down because guess what?
Yes.
You have to dispatch now to that person's family, to the owner of that company. You can't, you'll have your moment, but it can't be right then.
Exactly.
You
Yes. It
got
just
to,
can't be right.
that's right. And even if it's not the carrier who's out there driving, when you got a grown person, grown man or woman calling you, y'all got y'all rapport. Hey, what's going on? You at the rest stop yet? And they boo-hoo crying. Somebody that mom done passed and they need to get home now. You can't break. You got to
Exactly.
plan that. The plan has changed. You have to continue to work. They're in California.
Exactly.
They need to be in Florida for the funeral by Saturday. You don't have time
Yep.
to break down and you don't have no time. You do that after you get them home because your thing should be, and this is mine. I need to get you back where I brought you from. Come hell or high
Right.
water. And the
Right.
moves that
Safety.
I make, the
Yep.
routes that I choose, the money that I decide, we are the make or break of the business. We're the backbone of the business if you care.
Exactly. And someone's entrusting you to do that for them.
Yep.
And that's why I say, like, so the most part, TikTok watered the dispatching side of it down. There was at one point where people were proud to have dispatchers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you see now, it's kind of like you see people saying, "Oh, I asked my dispatcher to get me home 2 weeks ago," and it's like that's like a funny TikTok video. Don't get me wrong, but in reality, oh my goodness,
And it's
I've
sad.
seen people break down easily out here. Well, veteran truckers just get frustrated to the point to where they snap. I don't know what this. Sometimes the snap is very bad. Sometimes the snap is just I don't want to get the load. I'm just driving straight home, 600 miles and I don't care. Hopefully, it's just that easy. They just want to just deadhead home,
Right.
because it's bad for us out here. We get stressed out. Cops bother us. Traffic is.
There's a lot. Y'all go through a lot. Not only is the trucking industry expensive, it's taxing not only on your pockets, but on your body and your mind and your spirit. Y'all
Yes.
deal with a
Yes.
lot out there.
Yes.
And
Yes,
people
ma'am.
have to understand that. And I'm sympathetic to that, empathetic as well, because I have a call on my life, so that I think about stuff differently. So you have to look at things in its entirety. And that's why I always say, as a dispatcher who is into it like they should be, you will never be paid for what you do. You'll never be paid the amount of what you do. However, there has to be a level of passion. And if you don't have a love of people, this ain't gonna be for you. Because if you love people like you should, you care about what happens to them out there. You care about the movements that they make. You understand that this is their livelihood and how they make their living. You understand that it is dangerous out there. There's a lot that goes into it, and you can't just be on here telling people, "Oh, you can be a six-figure earner without owning any trucks. Take my dispatching course, and you're gonna be." That's it's a lie. I need you to tell
Exactly.
me that you're going to be awake 24 hours a day. I need you to tell me that things are going to go wrong and you're going to have to fight for tonu and detention and layover. I need somebody to tell me that, hey, the broker, when he get what he want, he's not even going to answer you. Or in the middle of the night, it's going to be over and you're going to be on. You got to figure it out. Nobody's talking about the mental ramifications out here. I am. Nobody's talking about how y'all get ill out there because you don't sleep well, you don't eat well, you got to get what you can get. Nobody, come on, this is what you need to know.
Exactly.
Not when you get into it and you go into a contractual agreement and then you decide, I'm sick of staying up all night. This don't make no sense. Well, nobody told you what you signed up for when they was taking you $600, $700, $800. No, they didn't.
They don't explain that part. They explain only the benefits of it.
Correct.
It's like it's not the benefits that you're really. Like I'd rather treat a person nice once and I'll keep a customer for life than get over on them one good time and then boom, they never come back to me anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like we're looking for that. That security. You know, people always ask, what would you need in a dispatcher? And I'm like, to be honest with you, it's like, you know, I know there's loads that pay more to go to certain areas, but if it's gonna make the driver uncomfortable, the owner of the truck, like I don't know if I want to send my truck there.
Mm-hmm.
When doubt comes in, don't push,
That's
because
right.
that's when mistakes come in. You know what I mean? It's like I told you I didn't really want to go here in the first place. New York City's one of them. I
Mm-hmm.
get so many people like, oh man, that's why I never had an issue telling people what route. You know, I had a couple guys jump in my lock and they're like, yeah, but I bet you won't tell what lanes that you do. I posted like my last like 5 or 6 BOLs without showing the
You
names.
right, but
I'm like,
you
listen,
can't do. I ain't gonna say what you ain't telling nobody what they can't do, but you're not supposed to do that anyway. Because even with a broker relationship, even if I'm showing you an example, it is illegal for me to be showing you what, who, that part.
yeah, yeah. Well, I hid all the information. I just showed him the
Right.
destination
Just here
and
we
stuff
go.
where
It's
I
out
picked up
there.
and I went to. Exactly, just to show him. But the
Mm-hmm.
problem was when he sees Brooklyn, when he sees Queens, Long Island, when he sees Connecticut, Boston, you know, the first thing that they say is, "Oh, I'm not going in those areas."
So
And I'm
that's
like,
why you're
"Yeah, I
not
know."
getting paid.
It's like, dude, listen. Here's why I don't mind showing where I go to, because you have to be more than just driving savvy to make it in those
Mm-hmm.
areas. Like that's the least of your trouble.
You're
You know what
right.
I mean?
And
And
you give us
I'm not
good
talking about
stuff.
routes.
You tell us, hey, try to get you a Food Lion account if you're in the South. Hey, try to get you a shop right.
Exactly.
It's not like you withhold. Listen, if they listening,
Exactly.
they gonna learn something.
Exactly. And that's what people don't realize. So let me just a quick example. What I've caught a power only, which isn't my most load that I've caught, but just recently the video went viral. They paid me 6,000 for a power only to run up to Massachusetts from Georgia. 1,000 miles. It was a roll off. It was a recovery.
Mm,
I'm on certain brokers as a recovery, so where I can just go pick the load up and keep going, whatever.
mm-hmm.
That's another hint for you guys if you want to get on that with
On the
them.
recovery
It doesn't
list.
happen all the time, but when you get a recovery, you charge to the ceiling.
You sure
Um,
do.
it you know, dudes like went crazy, bro. You're lying, and I mean, it went to like 500,000 views instantly. You know what I mean? And I'm like, listen, like I showed that for
Mm-hmm.
Recon also. I'm like, listen, but don't get overzealous in thinking that, oh my God, if this can happen, you know, $6,000 for one run, you can make $10,000 a week. It's like, but actually, I probably did 9,000 that week. The rates were good, so literally 6,000 up, 3,000 back down. And I'm like, don't count on that happening every week. That's
Right.
not something like it's gonna. Oh wow, I just wait next week. They're gonna call me again. That's not how this business goes.
And that's
You know
what
what I mean?
needs to be said. Even when you said back in May, you made that 64 grand a month, that month.
Mm-hmm.
But you also said I had to grind, I had to work.
Yes.
I didn't just pull up, I didn't drop and hook. I had to work
No.
for that. Physical
Not
labor
not
was
only
involved.
not only that, Mama. You're sleeping 3 hours a night at the most. You're nonstop running. You know, I don't want to implicate myself on here, obviously, but
Listen, we
most of
understand. You have to
you know what I mean.
consistently keep it moving.
Most of your
Um,
trucks are not set up to do it that way. So
Right. And also
don't
you when
try
you were
your.
down for your 10, right? When you were taking your 10-hour rest, we
Of
got you.
course.
Uh-huh.
And you know you look exactly. So you know you get 150-mile radius exempt because I'm hauling agriculture. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, your body has its special way of saying, I just came from up there. I had to drive all the way back down here. I got a whole nother load, and now I got to drive all the way back up there. I don't want to do this right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to beat that urge to say, I have
That's
to
that
keep going.
mental. You have to get that mind under control.
It's parts of that. That's the parts of trucking.
Mm-hmm.
I love everybody who joined trucking. I don't have anything against anybody who joined trucking. You know what I mean? Only people I seen that kind of ruffle my feathers. These people that were, oh, I'm chasing the bag. I'm chasing the bag. This business ain't gonna like just chase the bag. I'm gonna tell you
Mm-hmm.
that right now, so you just forget about it. That's the only ones I have a problem with. There's a lot of people out here that can't really learn and do it the right way. And then when they're ready, I have dudes still DMing me right now. But I'm looking to get into trucking right now. I would tell
He's
anybody who's
on
listening.
are you on Instagram, Slow Cooter, or just TikTok?
I am on Instagram, but it has nothing to do with my trucking
Okay,
with the
so
business.
Sharonda, you'll have to catch him. So he doesn't have Instagram for informational like this, but he does have TikTok. So if you're on
Yes.
TikTok, you can find him at one, the number one, Slow Cuda. So the number one, SLOWCUDA. That's where he drops his information off.
Yes, and I'll tell her, listen, I'm not afraid to answer any questions. Anything I don't know, I will never answer for anybody. If I don't know about it, it's just not my cup of
That's
tea.
right. You like me. Well, we'll find
That's
out,
it.
or I'll see if I can get
Yeah,
somebody
we
to
can
get you
find
that.
out.
That's
I
right.
don't know. That's it. The
Yeah.
worst thing you could do is be told what someone thinks should
Mm-hmm.
happen, and it's like, it doesn't work that way out here.
That's right. That's right.
And you know another thing, let me see that I will touch on with the people who are becoming truckers, and this is another serious side effect of this
You're
business.
welcome. Mm-hmm.
You will eventually, I don't want to say lose your family, but the distance gets greater and greater.
I talk about that also. I let them know that you have to remember for the livelihood and taking care of their families, they're missing their kids walking for the first time, graduating. There's things, or you just barely making it home and you pulling up in the truck to the graduation just so you can make it. Like there's a lot that goes on. And even back to what you were saying, hello, when you say about the dispatchers, as an independent dispatcher in the carriers that I work for, I was always very mindful. We would always discuss and schedule how long you want to be out, all of those things, because I know if you tell me you want to be out 3 weeks, I know that coming down up the real that second week, we need to be taking it on to the house. We need to be routing on back to where you live, not
Yes.
well, because what it is that dispatcher is trying to just get a couple more dollars. That's not
Yes.
okay. Because if I come and I say, hey, my mental can only tolerate being out here for 3 weeks, or I'm only going to be out here for 3 weeks because my child is having surgery and this, whatever, even though they don't have to explain to you, even they just need to say, I need to be home, by the 26th. You need to be rounding them home by the 26th. You already know you're not getting no more dollars. You already know, but that greed,
It takes over.
Yep.
It takes over from everybody. And I tell you, again, I only speak from experience. I went from the owning the house, a couple cars, dirt bike squads, all of the fun, essential stuff that you can own with the kids having everything also because they were reaping for my benefit.
Mm-hmm.
That wound up getting me into a 3-bedroom house in Georgia by myself right now. So if you guys don't think trucking can drain you away from your family, it can drain you. And trust me, I'm not the only trucker that can tell you a story about this.
That's right.
Don't get me wrong. We know you guys remember us. We remember y'all. But, absence gets, people get used to absence. And then when you come around, you kind of almost look like you're reintroducing yourself again. And it's like,
right.
You know what I mean? And from the trucker standpoint, it's like, man, you even know what we just went through? And you guys can, again, you possibly couldn't know what we go through out here, but it's rough on both parties. So please take a look at all of the situations in trucking before anybody makes that leap. If you like being home with your kids and celebrating birthdays and all that stuff, trucking is probably not it for you. You know what I mean? It's hard to out here. Very hard. Very hard. Like you said, first steps and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's... You better be glad that there's FaceTime now, because when I started this, there was no FaceTime.
Right.
There was none of that. You know what I mean?
It was just already done.
So I can hear her walking, or you get the still picture. Oh, look, she's walking, and it's still. It's like, yeah, I can't see that. So but Miss E, thank you very much for being the dispatcher that you are. You keep this you keep my faith that there are some good dispatchers out there. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
Like, I do not get along with dispatchers, you know what I mean? But I know that some of you actually really take our health, wealth, and better being into your consideration.
I appreciate that. All right, now. You have a good one. I'll talk to you later.
You as well.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's my guy, y'all. I love when he gets on. And like he said, like he's one of those people that he did not fool with dispatchers. When he got on here, he was like, you are talking right. I don't, he don't hear people doing it. He don't see people doing it. So he just wasn't really with it. But I'm a realist, and I don't want, y'all who know me, y'all know for me, I want to see everybody succeed. But I also believe that giving you the truth is going to help you not only succeed, but make a decision, because it's not glitz and glam when it comes to this, even in the dispatcher seat. It's not, because even when your carrier is resting, you are awake, thinking about looking for the next move, securing it, um, following up on it to make sure that it's still doing what it does. It's a lot. It's a lot. You earn every cent. So anyway, what y'all got going? I only dispatch for my husband, and it's a lot. That's right. That's right. It is, man. And people sometimes think that if you only have one carrier, that it's not hard. Listen, you can have, I know from experience, one carrier with one truck, and it's still going to be hard. Mine had three tractor trailers. You still, because the the procedures and your tasks remain the same. Hello, Serena. Hello, 342, because I know I'm gonna mess the first part up. Don't know if I can do it for everyone else. Yeah, it's definitely challenging. It's definitely challenging. And like he was saying, a lot of people jumped into this with PPP money, those lump sums of unemployment monies that were coming out in 2020, 2021. So, and as we still see now, a lot of that was, I don't know if false advertisement is the right thing to say, but a lot of that was this glamorous and this glorified personas that people present when it comes to getting into the transportation industry. They talk really good, and at that time, everybody was telling people you didn't, you don't need a CDL, just get you a box truck, and go on out there, or whatever the reasons were. But nobody was talking about financial responsibility. Nobody was really telling them how expensive it is to be in the transportation business. Nobody was telling the dispatchers the reality of what happens here, and that is not easy. And for dispatchers and for new transportation companies, it's not a quick return. Then I came on the scene, talking the real, because I had seen the same glitz and glamour, but I knew from coming from corporate, from working with people in service and sales, that it's not that easy to make a commission. Let me see what's going on. And I documented my progress, and we are, those of you who are with me, I appreciate you. Those of you who just found me, we're gonna learn. We gonna learn something, and we're gonna know it. We're gonna know it, we're gonna know it, we're gonna know it. But then everybody good, y'all. Thank you so much for the likes, the views, the hearts, the roses, the gifts. Thank y'all so much. I'm glad he could get on here and give us some real deal, information, because it's still out here right now. It's still, the challenge is still on. And if people can just press through till they get to the, what I like to call, the burr months, the September, late September, October, November, because all of that stuff getting ready to come up. Even though a lot of people been shopping early, there's still people who gonna be shopping Black Friday. There's still people who gonna be shopping later on. So so it will pick up. And then more than likely again, second week of January, it will die down. But there was kind of a little pickup around the Amazon Wayfair days. Did anybody participate in those? Now there was a lot of trucks who had, work with, especially Amazon. They were moving, because we had a lot of people renting Hertz vans and everything, trying to get all of those orders out. So I know there was a little spurt during those times, but if you can hold on, hold on. If you cannot, do not let anybody make you feel any kind of way about suspending your MC number and parking your truck. Okay, these decisions are yours. You're looking at business needs. You're doing what makes sense for you and yours. You cannot worry about or make moves for anybody else. If they're not contributing, shut their mouth. Yeah, but nothing. Okay. You still think you got something to say? Hold on. Let me pull out all of these bills and let me see where your name is and how much you gave me on it. That ain't you. No, that ain't you. That, no. Psh, shut it. Shut it. So, yeah, whatever you have to do, whatever you decide to do, you do that. Okay. And don't feel no way about it, because what you are not is a failure. Okay. You are wise. Okay. And you're doing what needs to be done as it needs to be done. Okay. And like I said, if anybody got something to say, shut that mouth. Shut that mouth, Lord. Shut it. Yeah. So I just wanted to come on here for a little while and talk to y'all. When I leave off of here, I'm going over there to my other channel, my other thing, and sell some stuff. Okay. Well, at least talk about it. Hopefully they'll buy, become brand fans, become a partner. Excuse me. I'm out here working, y'all. I'm out here extreme about my streams, okay? Because hey, oh, I don't have. For those who weren't on here last night, I came on. So for my 5-year anniversary, for my 5 years being in business, I'm gathering everything up, but I'm having a mixer pop-up shop. Okay, it's going to be Saturday, September 17th here in Atlanta. Okay, thank you so much. So it's going to be from, I think, from 9 to 4. So from 9 a.m. we'll have the mixer. So those who will be vending will be at the mixer. The mixer has a limited amount of tickets. Thank you so much. A limited amount of tickets. So the mixer will be from 9 to 10:30, from 10:30 to 10:45. The vendors will be able to mingle and shop with each other. Because if anybody know, if you've been to a pop-up, sometimes it's just a pop-up and you don't really get time to shop, especially if you're a vendor. So I just talked about it a little bit last night on here, Gina, but more information is coming once I get it solidified. So again, it's going to be here in Georgia. I'm speaking about it now. So everybody has 30 plus days to get themselves together. So from 9 to 10:30, 10:45 is where, I'll speak a little inspiration. We're going to eat. We're going to shop amongst each other. Joe Jackson, I'm glad you found me too. I greatly appreciate that. So that's what we'll do at the mixer. And then around 10:45, we'll all start getting in place. And then the doors are open to the public at 11 a.m. And they'll be able to shop with us. The reason that I decided that is because 5 years ago, I was stumbling and bumbling in business. I had been misinformed. Okay. I had been led to believe that entrepreneurship was the thing and that you were just going to come out here and you were going to get your LLC. That's why I speak about it like I do, because I think I have been the test subject for all of these things that we have been told. So I stumbled and bumbled. I realized really quickly that, you don't have any coworkers. Everything's on you. If you mess up, you just messed up. And there was nobody out here telling me that failure would be my best friend. But everybody that I saw that was an entrepreneur, now that I think about it, everybody who I knew that was an entrepreneur earlier in life before I became one, they either owned a daycare. All of them owned a daycare, but their boyfriend was pushing products. All right. You picking up what I'm putting down? Uh-huh. So they all own daycares because, owning a daycare, you know, and that's where all the boyfriend and his product pushing partners, all of their girlfriends, kids went to the daycares that was owned by the daycares. All right. And they had boyfriends that was pushing all of these product. And I'm from Florida. So in Orlando, we have what's called the 4C program. All right. So the 4C program is where you get a voucher. And you get to the voucher is paid to the daycare. So if you got like an infant and it's like $200 a week, you can get the voucher from 4C, if you qualify for it, and the 4C would pay like $190, and then you would just pay 10. All right. So now that I'm older, now that we're talking about it, it was more like a front instead of entrepreneurship. But anyway, 5 years ago when I tapped into it, everybody had it looking so glamorous. Everybody was, I'm a business owner or I own my own. But honey, as soon as I got that thing going, I realized, oh, ooh, you say taxes. Oh, you say you can't make nobody buy nothing, and you spend all your money, and people tell you they want all of these things, and they don't purchase a daggone thing. You in a hole, you remain in a hole. That was just a lot about entrepreneurship that I really thank y'all so much for the likes that I really had to discover on my own. So I said for my 5th year, I'm going to host a mixer um and a pop-up shop because I want people in business, new, old, whatever, to just have an opportunity where the public can come and shop. Listen, we all know by now. If you do not, I will say it again. We cannot make anybody buy anything. Okay. We cannot. Huh? Amen. We cannot. However, we can provide a level of customer service that will make us memorable. So while we're on the subject, I'm just going to high level overview it. So those who will be able to vend. Okay. So let's talk about vending. Thing one, it is not first come, first serve when it comes to the vending and the vending booth. Okay. It is first pay, first book. Okay. Um, so that's thing one. Let's can we talk? Can we be honest with one another? I never play with y'all about money. I never, hide anything from y'all. We're not gonna start now. Okay, so the people who will be able to vend, okay, you must have your LLC, your business must be registered, okay, or MLM. The reason that this is that you have to be liable, you have to be responsible if anything happens. They're not coming to see me because they're not purchasing the items that you sell from me. Okay. Um, y'all know, like when with the MLM things, they have the little situation, where you gotta, if it's paparazzi already there, paparazzi gonna be checked off. However, if you are a owned business, okay, and you make and sell your jewelry, guess what? You can still vend, okay, because people like authentic pieces as well. So although I may not double up on the product, the company, if there is a paparazzi, you can vend. If there is somebody who makes their jewelry from scratch, you can vend as well. There just won't be two paparazzis, okay? If you are somebody that sells um the soaps, and then the veggie steams or whatever, and you got your business, then you'll be fine. And if there's Herbalife there, well, Herbalife got to do what Herbalife got to do, just like you got to do what you got to do. Because my point is, I still have to educate people on what it is that I have in order for them to want to purchase from me or give me their email address. I want to, can't make nobody do nothing, but represent your brand. Represent your brand. Because again, it's my 5th year anniversary in business. And I want to be able to give people a chance that I really didn't have when I first got started. Like I didn't know about or none of that. And people be in competition so bad. We ain't trying to do that. It's all about business. Okay. So yes, y'all, that's what's going to be going down. I hope to find a vending machine vendor. Okay, so they can be in the building and talk to us because y'all, it's going to be y'all know I'm extreme about my streams, and that is one of the other reasons why MLM is going to be there, because you can really own your business. Because listen, there's really no difference, and it's not even because I'm tapping into that a little bit with these products. But the reality is, even when I was on my own and I was pushing products, when I was out here selling here, child, I had to have a distributor. I had to have shipping. I had my drop shipping. So y'all stop turning y'all nose up at people because they getting it how they live in a different way. Because honestly, okay, $49.99 to start your MLM situation. $99.99 to start your MLM situation is a better cost for some people who don't have 100, 150, $300 for the LLC and for the okay. You see, so we're not gonna knock. We're not gonna knock anybody who wants to do it how they need to do it. We are going to support. I'm gonna pull everything together, so it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time, and so it's gonna be early. So I'm looking to have breakfast served. Coffee will be in effect, and not only will the coffee be there, I'll have the things on the side. So if you want to make you a pretty cup of coffee and you want you some whip and some caramel and some chocolate and all that, you want to whip and nay your coffee up, I will have it there. Have a little graham cracker there in case you want to spruce. We'll have our own book, okay, for less. And you can get more than one cup without having to pay for another one. But anyway, y'all all right? Everybody okay? Y'all all right? Everybody okay? All right. Anybody got any questions, any concerns? All hearts and minds are clear? Okay. All right. If so, I'm going to get on up off here. Like I said, if anybody wants to meet me, I'm about to go over to my sales stream. Okay. On TikTok, you can head over to the Elect Lady 32811. Let me talk to you on here in case you want to go over there. All right. So I'm tapping to the other business space. If you want to meet me on Facebook, you can meet me on Facebook. The page over on Facebook is called Marian ETK King. So that's why I'll be on there, and I'll be on Instagram as well. Marian E. King _ Oberly. All right. So let me tap in here, put all the stuff in here just in case anybody want to be over there. Thank you, you too. Look, all hearts and minds are clear. Good. All hearts and minds are clear over here on YouTube. So y'all have a good night. I will talk to y'all later. All right. So